So yeah, I never had seen that or ever even really heard of that Nathan Fillion show, The Rookie.
Now you're obsessed with that song?
I'm obsessed with that song. That song is just so catchy, and I can't stop singing it. And apparently, like a few months ago, they finally put it on Spotify. So like, I'm getting into it at perfect time. It's available wherever I want it.
It's like hot drinks.
Huh?
Have you Wendy's back in the day? They used to do like videos to teach people how to like do stuff in the kitchen, and they made it with songs. So there's hot drinks, there's one with chili, and there's one about burgers. But hot drinks is the superior of the songs.
Interesting. All right. Well, I might have to listen to that later.
Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Not just smart, they heal more. They're not just smart, they heal more. They're not just smart, they heal more. They're not just smart, they heal more.
Ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends, we are back once again. I am the custodian of charisma. I am the ophthalmologist of optimism. She is the sultan of sarcasm and the sorceress of sass. I am the ghost. She is the coat. I am Brady. She is Danielle. Together, we are the best friends in all the land. And we are the Heel Marks. And this is, of course, your favorite Ring of Honor post show. This is Mark of Honor, the best place to chat about what we just watched, if what you just watched is Ring of Honor.
That's what we just watched.
Right. Exactly. August 8th, Ring of Honor. I will say last week we opened the show with an intro from Paul White, and it was kind of recapping most of what had happened at the pay-per-view and kind of teasing us with certain things we were going to get throughout the night. I was hoping that would carry over, and it did not. So now I'm left to assume that was just, a pay-per-view special. So next time we get a pay-per-view, hopefully we'll get another one of those. I do think it was a nice touch. And since you did have the opening match as well as the only championship match that we got on the show, both of those were teased last week. So they did have some content they could have given us with a little replay footage, and just Paul White's involvement, being the voice, being the narrator alone, was a nice touch, a nice little rub. So I do hope they go back to that.
Yeah, I like it. So I hope they do that too. I definitely hope so. I definitely hope. Yeah, it's good. It's good for me to be back. I'm excited to watch. I'm excited. I'm a little spoiled normally because we usually get only like an hour and a half of ROH, and now we have. What do we have? We had like an hour and 45 minutes. I was like, wow, this is a lot of wrestling. I was like, all right, ROH, give it to me.
Hour 45. That's right. That's right. We got you at exclusivity for this one, and they were like, well, we're going to go ahead and give her as much wrestling as she can handle.
Yeah, this is what you missed.
They did this last week too, though. And I did mention that like August was going to be a big month for them. They haven't done it yet, but I think like either next week, maybe a week and a half from now, they'll be doing their first round of tapings. Well, they'll be filling arenas with people that just came to see Ring of Honor get taped. They'll be doing that. And so that's kind of going to give us an idea of what Ring of Honor is going to look like in the future. I wonder if they're doing this because Ring of Honor, like this is what they want to get back to. They do want to kind of do like as close to a 2-hour program as they can. Or are they kind of doing this because they won't be able to do that when they're doing tapings? They won't be able to do 8 to 9 matches per show if they're taping like 3 shows a day in like a weekend spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming that, and because like with AEW, like they're adding more stuff. There's always constantly like instead of having it after shows, it's just easier to have their own brand. So I hope it
Right.
works out for them too, and maybe it will polish up their format a little bit.
Yeah. Last week I actually mentioned that I was going to complain about the fact that they opened the show with the championship match, Dustin Rhodes and the Trios champions, and I was like, "Why? This is your only championship match. Why is this not main event? It makes no sense." Then, of course, it was a setup for Dustin Rhodes to come back out later in the night, get confronted by the Dark Order, Sammy Guevara's big return. So it's one of the SP3 coming in. Past 2 weeks have been standalone ROH tapings from Arlington. Interesting. So it did happen.
That's probably why it looked different too. Because like when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this setup looks a little bit weird too. It looks like bigger and wider.
I also was surprised because now we're seeing Lexi do more announcing, whereas that wasn't as the case. She was pretty much their backstage commentator. All right, well, thank you, Sid. That makes perfect fucking sense. SP3 coming in clutch with that one. Interesting. I could have sworn I seen that it was supposed to be like middle of August, like August 16th or something. Maybe I'd just be making dates up in my head.
So what you're saying is I came out of Cutivity and you're lying to me already.
I mean, I'm saying I'm wrong. There's definitely no for lying to be involved. I would have had to know the correct answer, and clearly I did not. So this is not a lying moment.
Likely story.
Anyway, as I said, the show did, of course, close with Sammy Guevara making his return, and that is how we open the show with Sammy Guevara's in-ring return to the overall company of AEW and Ring of Honor, mainly here in Ring of Honor. Before we get into the match, Danielle, what do you make of this? Sammy Guevara coming back as a babyface in Ring of Honor. They didn't bring him up at a Dynamite, didn't do a Collision, didn't do a Rampage. Didn't save for All In, didn't set him up to have a spot at All In. Just he's here. He's in the Ring of Honor roster now.
I'm like, oh, is he being punished or are they thinking he might help ROH? That's what I'm thinking of it. I'm not too sure.
I mean, I don't know if I would call it a punishment. Then again, like maybe they felt like they had to do something because this isn't the first time Sammy's been suspended. Sammy's been removed. So, I mean, I don't think he's being punished per se. I do think that we've seen people in the past try to go to ROH and kind of treat it like NXT, where I can come here and get a fresh start, you know,
right.
And it doesn't always work out. Sometimes it kind of does for at least a little while, but then a lot of times, like in the case of Ethan Page, for instance, you know, he made us really buy into like ROH is his new home. He was going to win gold here. And then eventually it kind of became just another sign that they didn't value him the way he valued himself. And then we go ahead and see him go over to NXT and they're ready to value that as much as possible.
Aren't they? Yeah. So it was really weird because like, but that also might be the wrestler itself where he like, Ethan Page was like, if I'm going to be on this, I need to make myself known. I need to, you know, use my moments wisely and get myself over. So I'm not really sure with the whole Sammy thing. Maybe,
you know, I mean, another thing that putting him in Ring of Honor does, it takes him off of live TV. And maybe with his past discretions and what he's done to cause suspensions, and also just with, I mean, let's be real, Tony's had to deal with a fucking lot over the past year and never knowing who's going to do what. So maybe with this, he's like, listen, 3 months, let me get this guy solely on taped TV shows. Let me monitor what this guy's doing. You know, if I got to edit him, I can edit him. Let's see what's up. And so now Sammy's in a spot where he genuinely does have to climb that ladder again. He does have to work his way back to the spot. Maybe that's a reason also that maybe I don't know if this is going to be a tag team. Dustin Runnels already has the
Von Erichs
Rio's championships. Yeah, exactly. But we did see them win in the opening tag team match tonight. So maybe just by them working together, maybe it means he's riding with Dustin. Maybe they're hoping that the vet will, you know, wise up the young buck.
Maybe he'll like smack him around a little bit and be like, hey, listen, Get your shit together. You're a dad now.
I mean, he did say, or at least commentary did say, that he has said that being a father has completely changed his outlook on things and his outlook on life and this and that. Apparently, his suspension was up like about 3 months ago. They just never got him into plans, and then
That's
so like
interesting.
yeah, and then this being the plan. So like that's I think they just want to start slow. They're not really any rush.
Right.
They have Will Ospreay, they have Kyle Fletcher, they have all these different guys, all these
The
different
nerve
pieces.
of them taking Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Kyle Fletcher.
I love him on ROH. I love Kyle Fletcher.
He was great. He was great. He was great on ROH. And honestly, here's the main reason I'm happy that he's mainly being featured in AEW, and we're getting to see him tell stories there now. Because Ring of Honor did not do his, like, for how great that TV title run was, the way it ended is so, like, they found a way to fuck up, bro. Like, I still can't believe that's what they did. And the fact that there's been zero effort to keep the TV title relevant on Ring of Honor, knowing full well that, like, if somebody just watches Ring of Honor, let's say it's a 13-year-old, right? Teenager, his parents let him watch Ring of Honor, but it doesn't have unlimited internet access, so he doesn't necessarily know that Kyle Fletcher took his weekend to go to Mexico and lose the TV title. He's tuning in to Ring of Honor like a week after seeing Kyle Fletcher lose a title versus title match, or I'm sorry, a champion versus champion match to Mark Briscoe. That kid's tuning in, and there's a new guy that he might never have heard of as the TV champion. He's left scratching his head like, what?
Right.
And that happened like a week or two before their pay-per-view. So yeah, like nothing they did made sense when it came to Kyle Fletcher's like the end of his Ring of Honor tenure.
Does ROH ever make sense?
I mean, occasionally they have been making some changes, especially now. SP3 pointing out that the last two shows were because last week I mentioned a lot of things that they were doing were different and did make sense. Like I noticed a lot of things that happened last week where I was like, okay, I'm noticing this change, noticing that change. For example, and I did not notice it this week, so once again, we're left scratching our heads and chins like, when are they going to pick spots? But last week they brought back instant replays, which I'm campaigning for a while. I love a good instant replay, especially with a lot of the Ring of Honor styles that you see.
Yes,
you know how many like
agree.
Yeah. So we didn't get any of those tonight, but that was in their handbook from last week. So we're still left kind of wondering what these next round of shows are going to look like. That's crazy that the last two were tapes, and so they're intentionally going an hour and 45 minutes with, oh man, that's so curious. And it's like, if they were doing tapings and all those people really there to see Ring of Honor, then now I kind of have to add something that I enjoyed about tonight into the complaint column. Only because we got so many, and we'll talk about them a little more as we get to them. But we got so many. In fact, let's talk about a fun one, fun-ish, because it set up the main event. Backstage, we learned that Billie Starkz is a minion in training once again. She's no longer TV champion, therefore she's no longer on Athena's level. No. She is once again under the learning tree that is Athena, no longer a minion. She is a minion in training. She will have to always strive to get better. And we got this in a backstage segment.
Yeah.
However, though, it's like and we got a lot of backstage segments. A lot of matches were set up either for this week or next week in backstage segments. A lot of people got promo time before, after a match backstage segment. If you've got the arena full with people who literally came to see your Ring of Honor show get taped, you might as well take advantage and give them some in-promo segments. And last week they closed the show with a good one, but we got none of those tonight. Except, unless you count Smart Mark Sterling's intro of Tony Nese, which I don't.
No, I don't count that. I did want to say, when we were talking about how this got to, and it's an hour and 45 minutes, if they cut out about 5 commercials, it wouldn't be that long. There's so many commercials.
The same commercial. It's like, bro, we know All In's happening. You don't have to keep showing the same commercial, especially since commentary is talking about it too.
And you don't have to talk about it because we're watching ROH, not AEW. I know they're the same, under the same banner, but like, come on. It's like, you don't need that. I'd rather you take out some of those commercials and give me an entrance. Give me a no person entrance. Like, we huff and puff about entrances all the time. Give me an entrance. I'll take that over the same 5 commercials, the same commercial 5 times.
Yeah. Also, you're talking exclusively to people that are paying money to watch the program they're tuning into.
Right.
So, like, not saying that everyone who watches Ring of Honor every week is definitely going to purchase All In, but they've kind of already committed to your product more than the people who are watching Dynamite, Collision, Rampage, because that stuff's free TV, you know?
Right. It's just it's so ridiculous. But yeah, I like this thing with Billy Starks, how I like that Althea was saying my championship. You lost my championship.
Yeah.
I like that. She's so great. Like, she really is. Like, she's
curious. I'm really curious as to where they go with this. I don't know if I'm going to like it. Then again, the way the show ended, maybe we will. It does seem like it all could just be a catalyst for a new Billy Starks, which she's so young. The fact that we're able to see constant evolution of her is just very, very good. And I believe, as you said, a credit to how good Athena really is and the way she delivers and the way she helps and everything. It's just so, so good.
Yeah, it's really amazing and really remarkable.
And this backstage segment sets up the main event, which we'll talk about a little later. However, all I do want to say is, for this match with these people, and none of them were advertised for the show, I think that's silly. Like, they advertised 8 matches, all 8 matches we saw. They did not advertise this one. They allowed this one to be set up in a backstage segment. Why wouldn't this be set up in the ring in front of people where you could get reactions for I mean, let's be real. These are 4 of your top girls in this company called Ring of Honor.
These are the top 4 women.
They've been carrying the show for like a while now. These titles and these stories and these women. So, I think, X out about 2 commercials and give that time to these women in the ring so they can play off the crowd. And B, as far as we're concerned, you know, the consumer who's looking on Twitter and looking on Instagram and seeing, hey, what's Ring of Honor going to give me? Should I tune in? Should I watch? Can I miss it? To not even see Athena's name, like we're not going to hear from Athena. They said we were going to see Rachel Elling in action. They couldn't tell me that Athena was going to be talking with Billy Starks.
Especially that, like, Mark Briscoe's the champion, the ROH champion. She's the female champion. When he's not there, she's top dog.
Right.
So what are we doing here? And she's on the show.
And once again, like I said, it would have had to be either or, because the fact that they wanted it to be a surprise while, you know, like for us watching, you don't have, like, there's no reason to do that. This being the main event should have just been advertised. If you were going to do like a backstage segment to set it up, you could have done it earlier today and tweeted it.
Right.
If you were literally going to make it a surprise, you should have made it a surprise for that live crowd who had no idea what to expect.
Right.
So that was silly. But did you catch, speaking of Instagram posts, I don't know if you caught the way they advertised Johnny TV and Taya Valkyrie's matches, but it was in like coming soon, almost like movie posters, and the people they were facing were listed at the very bottom as the featured artist.
No, I didn't. I wish I picked up on that. I didn't.
It was very, very cool, but I did enjoy that happened, and they were featured like right next to each other. It wasn't separate posts. It was almost as like if you were walking down Broadway, you look down and you see both of those signs were right next to each other, letting you know.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know. That's cool. I like that.
It was very cool.
I like the stuff that they do. I like the 2 of them together.
Yeah. I would like to see more of them together. I know there's not too many. Offhand, there's not really any other established couples, and there's not really any intertwined pairs. We do see some tag teams picking up females and kind of becoming trios, becoming stables. So maybe there's possibility with theirs where we could see Johnny TV and Taya TV as a tag team, which we really we don't see it very often, but I'd like to see it more because they are great together.
Oh, they're so great together. I'd like to see a mixed match tag. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I did like this match with her and Hyan, though. Hyan's very impressive to me. Happy to see
very good.
Yeah, happy to see her on TV for sure. And then when Johnny TV, he took on Fuego del Sol. Happy to see these two get time to work, though I do think it's a little too soon to be cooling off Fuego.
Really? Yeah, I feel like he came in so hot, and now he came in
like it's not like I expected him to get like a winning streak and TV title shot. But at the same time, I don't see a reason why he couldn't have gotten a winning streak and a TV title shot. You brought him back. He got a lot of fanfare. You brought him back on the winning side. The fans have been responding to him online, in the ring, in the arena.
Yeah, he's got the attention of everybody. It's really
Johnny
cool.
TV. You kind of just you put him on TV, then you keep him off for a month, and you give him a weird segment. You know what I mean? There's no commitment there. So I feel like there's got to have been someone else that could have given Johnny TV the win, and Fuego del Sol could probably have gotten a win off someone else, or even Fuego del Sol beating Johnny TV is not outside their own possibility. It's not like Johnny TV is super protected.
Right. It would have been fun as long as it was like maybe you also could have done it in a way where like maybe Ty was trying to interfere. And then, and that cost Johnny because like she did something and she meant to help Johnny and it didn't help Johnny. And that's how he got a win. So it's just, it was just weird that he would get an L so quickly because I would like to see him against someone else.
Yeah. And once again, real big fans of Johnny and Taya both getting wins tonight. I'm more of a fan of these guys telling stories though. Like we know they're both great at wrestling. Like that's never been a problem. The problem is you don't give them a chance to tell stories. You don't give them a chance to be taken seriously. You don't move them in a direction that would truly be beneficial to the career, to their program. You don't give them ladders that they can climb. Taya should have already been challenging for the TV championship, but you know what I mean?
TV championship, I know because you love the TV for TV. I know you love that. TV, the women's title, Johnny TV, after the whole thing with Dalton, like what happened? There's no feud. That's the thing that with ROH, there's never storylines going on. And these two are good at storytelling, like you said. So they should have storylines with other wrestlers to elevate everybody involved.
Yeah, and it's like some of the stories they tell are great. And like I do enjoy them, and I do enjoy what we're getting, like the women, for instance, like that. And even tonight, for instance, we got to see Tomohiro Ishii defeat Tony Nese. And credit to Smart Mark Sterling, constantly keeping his premier athletes hot, despite the company not keeping them hot at all. Like I've never seen like from what they did with those vignettes and the way they were presented with that first encounter with the conglomeration, or even that iteration of it, to what it is now. It's just silly, but credit to Smart Mark where he's able to still make me buy in until I see his people lose every week.
Yeah, it's like they were supposed to come out and be like unstoppable. I felt like they were supposed to be unstoppable and like not, and until they had a worthy adversary, like they were just going to continue winning. So it's very weird to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like they all deserve better too. They deserve much better.
Because all of them are extremely talented and they all can talk. They all can wrestle. Like, why don't we have storylines going on?
Yeah. By the way, guys, for everyone wondering, I'm dog sitting and he's a whiny dog right now.
I have a dog sitting. He's not whiny.
Aw. Hugo, stop whining. Stop it.
He's fed up with ROH too and not utilizing their damn talent.
That's it. This match was a fun one, though. This match was hard hitting, like we knew it was.
I like this match a lot. He was good. This was a really good match.
This is just another case of where it's like, this was obviously a showcase for Ishii, and great. I'll watch him smack around anybody, but they've never really continued what they were supposed to do with premier athletes and making them hot, making them a feared threesome, twosome, onesome, whatever, a feared stable in Ring of Honor, a feared presence. Like you remember when Mark Briscoe made a rare appearance on Ring of Honor to help clear them out with all the other baby faces. What happened? How is there zero follow-up to that? And now these guys are just exactly what they are with the companies that they were with prior to this. Let's be real. Ari Daivari, Tony Nese, these are guys who were in WWE and we wanted them on Raw. We wanted them on SmackDown. Instead, they were on 205 Live. They were on Main Event, Superstars, whatever it was. And everyone was like, oh, man, they're going to be able to get used better when AEW gets their hands on them. And it not happened because now they're on the exact equivalent of whatever those shows were. They're on Ring of Honor, and they're just putting on good matches with talent they want to put over from New Japan or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get it. It's frustrating. And
it's frustrating only because now that I do know, because my whole viewpoint of tonight's episode changed a little bit when we found out that these were, in fact, the taped shows. Because I thought if you were
actually ruined it for us.
I thought you were actually sit down and really pay attention. Okay, let's craft these stories. Let's take advantage of the live crowd. Let's allow these people to get over. Let's do this. Let's do that. And it's not the case. And so now I'm just kind of oh man, they really are fucking up a little bit. But we are getting some stories. We're getting some advancements. For example, Rachel Ellering, who made her return. We haven't really seen her too much in Ring of Honor, but she did mention in the backstage interview, she said she was Rachel Rampage for a little bit, went over to Collision. But yeah, we saw her defeat Brooke Havoc in the ring, and then backstage, we saw her meet Harley Cameron. I thought that it seemed like maybe Harley was teasing them pairing together and Harley trying to give Rachel a makeover. At the same time, she was kind of being sassy and disrespectful about it. So I don't know if maybe this is a feud we're looking forward to.
Yeah, maybe it is. I do think the acting on both their parts was a little much. It was a little forced, but I like that we're setting up for feuds. That's okay. I don't mind backstage as long as we're using it to set up feuds and not just a one-time, oh, we're going to have a match. I want, to, have storylines and have this. So I'm okay with this. And I really like Rachel Ellering. So I really feel bad that that we haven't seen her in a while, but I'm glad that that Harley came on and now they can start a feud, hopefully.
Yeah, and I like that we got to see her talk backstage. Her talking backstage this week felt a little different than in the past. I don't know if it's because she was going for something different. I don't know if she's feeling a little bit more comfortable. But she's definitely seems ready for what their next step's going to be. Once again, I kind of like the idea of her and Harley pairing up and Harley trying to give her a makeover.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what that's about because Harley did talk about her fashion and I would get rid of it all. Get rid of it all. Right. So maybe they do something with that. Either way, I like Harley Cameron. I'm a fan of her. She has her really funny moments and one-liners that crack me up all the time. So, but I haven't seen as much of her in the ring. Most of it's been stuff like that.
I don't think I even remember her in the ring, to be honest. So I don't know about her wrestling.
Well, actually, wasn't an in-ring segment, but yeah, the main thing people are known for, or maybe people I think people remember her for at this point, is when she hit on Anthony Bowens and he told her he was gay, and then the fans started chanting.
Oh, that's gay. Her! Yes. I forgot that was her. Yeah.
Yeah, she was the rapper, the one who rapped to Anthony Bowens saying, "I know you want me."
Now I remember. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to this. Anything with progressing storylines, I'm totally for.
Yeah, and I did mention earlier about different ways they were utilizing female talent. We saw last week that Layla Gray has joined the stable of Top Flight as their flight attendant.
Yeah.
And this week, now we see that the Outrunners are not running solo or just by themselves anymore. They got Erica Lee with them as well. I don't exactly know what her affiliation is with them because they didn't give these guys any mic time to explain it. At least last week, like Layla Gray came out looking like the flight attendant. So it was kind of like, oh, okay.
Right.
Once again, I'd like to hear from her and them also to explain, hey, why are you guys together now? What is she bringing to the table? And I would have liked to see a little bit more during the match here. But once again, and this I spoke about it last week, but this is tough when you put managers with face teams because there's not so much they can do. They can't cheat, they can't distract, they can't tell the crowd to go fuck themselves. All they can kind of do is find different ways to get the crowd excited.
I'd be a terrible face manager. I would just want heat constantly.
I mean, I'd be a good one, but
you'd be like a Prince Nene, but I guess he's a heel Swerve, right? No, Swerve's a babyface, right?
You said Prince Nana? Is that what you were going for?
I said Nene.
You definitely said Prince Nene, yeah. Yeah, I would definitely be like a Prince Nene. I would just go around doing the Nene, get everybody hyped.
Prince Nene.
Yeah.
You'd be like, Nene.
They'd have to watch me whip and then watch me Nene.
Yeah. Whip what? Whip like...
Yeah. Whip.
Oh. I was thinking of like baking.
Jesus. But like, yeah, I do like seeing somebody added to the Outrunners because me and you've been talking about how like these guys are a team that they don't really do as much with. They don't really use them to tell stories. They don't really use them. And like this is another one where like these guys are people that are going to get the crowd hype. People are going to be happy to see the Outrunners.
Oh, I love Outrunners.
And you can kind of pair them with any other heel team, and you can come up with a cool story for them. I don't know. Like, once again, I'm very just curious what Erica Lee is doing here. Is she their workout partner?
Maybe they just wanted a female to come out to bring some energy.
Oh man, there's the energy we're looking for.
Thanks, Jackson. No, it's okay. Sorry, we're dog infested today.
So many. I had to give Hugo a bully stick. Don't tell his parents.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, really looking forward to seeing what this tag team turned now stable. Because personally, I think if you're 3+, you're a stable. So curious to see how this stable develops from here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
One thing I'm not looking forward to. What?
I'm trying to be hopeful with ROH.
Right.
I always try to be. I mean, there's so much negative sometimes.
Me too. But then they go and do weird ass shit like throw Serpentico and Maria's boys in like another, like, are you kidding me? This guy still wants his mask back. This angle is easily like it's got to go in like the top 3 of just angles that I'm so done with.
Literally like, in my notes, I put this fucking mask storyline again. It's still happening. I'm like, come on with this storyline with this stupid mask. We can't think of anything else to have these guys feud over. Hey, if I lose, I don't have to take off my mask. If I win, you have to cut your hair, like something. I'd rather have that at that point. Oh,
yeah.
Dang.
No, like and it's like it's not even like don't get me wrong, the storyline has been going on for what feels like forever, but that's also because they like will do it for like 2-3 weeks, take 2 weeks off, then they'll do it for like 2-3 weeks, take 2 weeks off, then they'll do it for like a month. You know what I mean? It's just so there's no consistency, and it's like there's no somebody. I need to have a conversation with anyone who can tell me they actually give a fuck about this storyline.
Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares, Sean. Nobody cares.
Like, I don't know if I ever actually cared other than just wanting to see these wrestlers succeed. You know?
Also, like, I don't think the wrestlers care about this story.
I know because they don't, like, they just wait. They just do their thing for a month and then randomly Angelico and Serpentico remember, oh, wait, you know what? They still got my green mask. Let's go get it back.
Yeah. Nobody cares. And nobody cares about him revealing his face. This is not Kane. This is not Rey Mysterio. Like, nobody cares.
Well, don't get me wrong. If they reveal his face, I will pop so fucking huge.
Yeah, but you already know who his face is.
Right, which is why I would pop.
I mean, yeah, but yeah.
Like, if I thought for 1 second that's what they were building up to, then I'd be like, okay, I'm game. Because instead of playing 2 jobbers, maybe he would play 1 winner. So, like, but anyway, we're gonna have to. I was scared. It did kind of seem like they announced that match for tonight, and it was like
I thought it was for tonight too.
It was when they had already added our main event. So I'm like, okay, they've already got 9 matches. Did they just give us a 10th? Like, are we getting this too? I was like, because I just don't need it. Next week, fine, sure.
Give me 5 good matches with like 5 intertwined storylines.
Yeah,
almost to lead to a match next week to continue a storyline.
I think that's why they gave us so many backstage segments, only because with backstage they're able to time it out, where it's kind of like, okay, we want to get this message across, and instead of doing it in the ring, where it could potentially take anywhere from 7 to 14 minutes based on their cadence, their spacing, the crowd, this and that, instead, okay, you guys have 90 seconds and go. And so they're able to kind of just use that as a vehicle to give us, stories and segments. But it's like we want investments into them, so it would be better if they took advantage of that time that way. But I did enjoy seeing STP back together ever since we read on the streets that Shane Taylor got hurt. We haven't seen him with Lee Moriarty. The last time we saw him, it sounded like he was calling out and issuing a warning to everyone, but mainly the ROH World Heavyweight Champion. I was excited about that. However, that was before the injury. Seeing him with Lee was good. It was promising. However, I noticed that despite the 2 of them calling out Top Flight, Action Andretti, and talking about that whole trio, the match made and the challenge extended was Lee Moriarty versus Action, 1-on-1. So that kind of tells me that STP might still be a little banged up, probably isn't 100% ready to get back in the ring just yet. So let's utilize them. Let's talk. Let's put these guys back together. He'll be in the corner for Lee. It's at least implied from this, I think. He seemed very proud of Lee for bringing the ROH Pure Championship to STP. So I do like that. I like that STP finally has some gold.
Yeah, I love that too. I love that Lee Moriarty is the champ. I love everything about this. And it helps with forming a stable. So hopefully they'll form more people in the stable, and this will be something to look forward to.
Here's the only thing I don't like. And I want, well, no, it's just something small, but it doesn't make sense to me. And even if he was a babyface, I don't know if it would make that much sense to me. Probably less. But a heel doing it really makes not that much sense at all. However, I have kind of wondered ever since Lee Moriarty beat Wheeler Yuta and the way they exchanged respect after, wonder if maybe this would take us to a face Lee Moriarty, possibly even a face Shane Taylor Promotions. Because I've been saying for a while that I think that's where the money is with these guys. Even though Shane Taylor is a fantastic heel. They all are, really. But either way, the fact of the matter is, especially if they're calling out Action Andretti and Top Flight, it seems like they're still in the heel mode, right? Like that's a big.
I prefer them as heels. I don't think I prefer them as face just yet, but I want them as heels.
Well, so here's my thing. Like, as a heel, then explain to me why he's like, yo, this beef with us has been going on so long. I'm done with it. So you know what we're gonna do? Me and you for my title. Like, what? That's what the heel does. I don't even.
The heel should never want to challenge for its title.
Exactly, and I don't even like when the babyface does it. But even when they do it, they're all amped up.
Like when people do anything, you're always like, I hate when someone does this. I hate when someone does that. It's like, why?
That's not true. I love when people do a lot of things.
Like what?
I like when they clap their hands in unison,
or do the slow clap.
I love a good slow clap.
Who doesn't love a good slow clap?
Love a good slow clap. I don't care where the fuck we are. We could be on the fucking bus. The driver could be dropping you off. You just got to your stop. You hit him with a fucking slow clap. I am standing up and joining the fuck in.
Man, I'm never getting on a plane with you because if you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be slow clapping when the plane lands, I am not dealing with that.
For the record, I won't do it because the people on the plane are so fucking mean. They'll just fucking awkwardly stare at you like, bro.
Why would you clap, though? That's so stupid.
Because there are people who are literally crippled with fear at the idea of even getting into a plane because of how dangerous it could potentially be. We have arrived safe. I have spent money for a flight. I didn't have no babies crying in my fucking ear. There was no turbulence. I was comfortable. I'm safe now. Thank you, man.
Who are you clapping for?
I'm clapping for everyone on the staff.
All right, because I'm going to say, like the pilots don't really land the plane.
I'm clapping for the whole staff. I'm clapping for the lady who gave my peanuts. Clapping for the man who showed me where the emergency exit was. Huh?
They don't really give peanuts anymore.
They don't?
Mm-mm. Allergies.
Oh, my fucking God.
Very rare they give peanuts now. They usually give those biscotti cookies. Those things are delicious.
All right, I'm going to start bringing peanuts on my plane, like, as a point to let them know.
If people are allergic, they announce it on the plane. They'll tell you. They'll say someone's allergic if you have peanuts.
Well, that makes me even more pissed because on the recent flights I've been on, I have not heard a peanut allergy mentioned once, but I have not received peanuts.
See, told you, no peanuts.
This is bullshit.
The package you sent me had peanuts. I ate both packs. They were delicious.
I love peanuts. See, another thing I love.
That's nice.
Rumble, Pure Champ Rumble. I love what we're gonna see from Lee Moriarty as Pure Champ because he's bringing the Pure Championship to Ring of Honor, which like we really didn't see it the entire Wheeler Yuta reign at all.
I forgot he was the champ. I forgot there was a Pure Championship.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I think next week we might be getting that match, Lee Moriarty versus Action Andretti. That's gonna be a fun one. I think Action's a good first challenger.
I think they're going to complement each other very well.
But see, like, this is another thing where I would just, like, if Fuego del Sol was going to start losing again, right? Boom. Then why not just have Fuego face Lee Moriarty, like, tonight or figure out a way to set it up for next week? Like, give Lee Moriarty a first challenger, somebody who would actually benefit from losing. Because the truth is, it'll be a fun match. But Action Andretti doesn't get anything from losing for the ROH Pure Championship. Action Andretti is another one where they kind of still have to continue whatever they're doing with him to get him to a level where he can start putting people over comfortably and not lose status or spot.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, like, I think this is going to be a fun one. But
I'm really looking forward to this match.
Yeah. How about Robbie Eagles showing up, repping TMDK, taking on Darian Bankston, who I'd never heard of, but I did enjoy him.
I've never heard of him either, but I definitely enjoyed this match. And I thought this match got a lot of time for a match that I didn't think was going to get a lot of time.
No, it 100% got a lot of time. And a part of me was like, okay, it's because they love, if they get somebody who's a featured New Japan talent come in, they don't usually, unless like they're coming into the company to like actually be with the company and, whatever, like you rarely see those guys get like 3 minutes like, just to beat someone. It's more of like, and especially as we saw with the past 2 weeks, hour 45 for the private tapings, they do kind of, it's kind of even more indie-rific than it was when they were opening the AEW shows, because now these people came to see these matches. You know what I mean? And so when they find out, oh, Robbie Eagles is here, okay, the mighty O'Neil, let's go. They don't want to see him just, hit a couple spots, quick match, because
you don't want to just watch him like knock out a jobber in 2 minutes.
Right.
I hate the term jobber, but yeah.
And the truth is, Darian Bankston had a lot of standout moments in this match. And it was
100%.
Like, I immediately had to look him up and be like, okay, where does this guy wrestle? Let's find out stuff about him.
Same. I'm usually more familiar with the females that they have on the as the call them jobbers. What can we have them? Local talent.
Enhancement
right?
talent. Enhancement wrestlers.
Yeah, I don't like saying jobber. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, enhancement talents. Enhancement talent, I should say. But yeah, I don't mind if we see Darian Bankston be brought in as an enhancement talent for future matches at all. He definitely got my attention in the right way. And I also wouldn't mind if Robbie Eagles made more appearances for Ring of Honor. It was fun seeing him. I'm a fan of TMDK as a stable. So I love any
like
chance
to
get. Yeah, 100%.
Like
we spoke earlier about the main event getting set up, despite the fact that we both kind of agree that we should have known this match was happening when we tuned in to see what Ring of Honor was advertising today. And once again, if you were going to set it up as a surprise in the show, not taking advantage of the live crowd that came to see it was just a silly misfire, in our opinion. But nonetheless, let's not take away from the fact that this is a big-time main event right now. More often than not, I'm the guy who's going to say, why is the one championship match not main eventing? But with this match, I have no problem. We got two champions. Yeah, two champions. It's the best story that Ring of Honor has. With
one of the longest. That's not stupid.
Exactly. With arguably, it's some of their best workers. You know, if you might have two, if not more, of the top 5 workers in Ring of Honor today in this match. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I like this match a lot. I love these women. I will watch these women wrestle till I'm blue in the face. I love it. I think they're just so good.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I did love that we got to see the new side of Billy Starks. It was interesting because the entire, like, from the entrance, everything felt different, right? And the commentary even kind of I don't know about overreacted, but they really wanted you to peep their reaction to Lexi's introduction for Billy Starks compared to her introduction for Athena. And then Billy Starks comes out wearing exactly Athena's outfit, perfectly matching.
Right.
Whereas she had been showing her own individuality recently. She had been kind of blossoming into her own superstar.
Right.
Who didn't have to just mirror her mommy or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and now she's like back trying to get her respect again and build her back up.
Exactly. But we did get, like, with that, we get her overly anxious to impress Athena again.
Yeah, and I like that really part.
Yeah, like, I love everything I'm getting from Billy. Everything Athena's doing makes me hurt inside. It's like, she wants your love, just give it to her. Stop giving Lexi so much attention. She's not in the ring. But as a story, they want these emotions, so they're getting what they want out of me.
Yeah, they're telling a story correctly and having us feel the correct feelings at given time. I love Queen Aminata and Red Velvet. I love both. Queen Aminata especially, fucking queen. Like, they're so talented. Like, I can't wait for Queen Aminata to become champion. Even though Athena's great, like, I can't wait.
Well, it almost makes me sad how good Queen Aminata and Red Velvet have become as a tag team, not just as a tag team as workers, but just the way they fit together. We saw today their ring gear is matching, and like they go together so well, but there are no female tag team championships for them to go for. So it almost feels like these women being a solid tag team would be short-sighted, right? Like it wouldn't have legs. It would be baby teeth. So that's the only thing where I'm just kind of like, I wonder where it goes from here. They could make a third friend, and now all of a sudden you've got a stable. Now you've got a group. But who could it be?
Yeah. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. You want to hear something weird? This is totally random and ADD of me, but my brother was telling me, he's like, do you play the song that when people like say words, you like chime in and start singing? And I was like, Brady wants to rip my face off through the screen every time we do a show because I do that all the time. And he goes, No, I made up that game, and I was like, no, you didn't. I was like, poor Brady. I do this to him all the time.
So he did not make up shit. He did not make up a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, Brady will say a sentence, and all of a sudden I just start singing. He's like, yeah, that's a game, and I'm like, I do it to Brady all the time. Then he wants to rip off my face. I could tell his anger builds up every time I do it.
No, it's because it's like if you're gonna take something I said and turn it into you singing, you then need to like acknowledge real quick after you're singing that it's weird, and then boom, right into a point. Instead, you just stare at me blankly like I'm supposed to fucking applaud.
Like, I want you to laugh or chime in.
What did chime in on what? I just rambled on for like 7 minutes about God knows what, and you took 2 fucking words I said and turned it into a solo. I'm supposed to chime in for what? Beatbox? You want me to go back up? What the fuck? Harmonize over here? Shit.
Hugo doing the howls in the background.
He's fucking begging for water, motherfucker. But yeah, I did like that we're getting a new darker Billy Starks again. One who's eager to get Athena wins, eager to get that title back for Athena. As wrestling fans, we're programmed to think that Billy Starks is not going to get her TV title back from Red Velvet.
Right.
So I wonder if maybe Athena pushing her so hard to get gold back when now there's limited gold for her to get on this show, maybe the plan is for Billy Starks to be the one to take it from Athena. I don't necessarily want that plan, and I don't necessarily know if that's the plan, but I'm wondering since we see where they're going.
It's good for storyline. It's cool, but it would make me very sad because Queen Amanada should be next in line. But I'm not against that whole thing where Billy has to turn on her because she's pushed her so hard. She's like, you know what, I'm gonna take. It's like you want the TV title back, but I'm taking the women's championship. It's it's good. It makes me upset for Queen Amanada, but it's good.
Yeah, 100%. This was a fire main event. The right team won, put heat on them. And like as always, just looking forward to seeing what comes next from the minions, from the queen, from our TV champion. As I did mention, we had the one and only championship match of the night. The ROH Tag Team Championship were on the line. Undisputed Kingdom defeating the Infantry yet again. This match was set up last week. I questioned, like, because this reminded us of kind of like Lee Johnson going for Kyle Fletcher again. And you're like, oh, maybe that means he's winning, but then he loses again. And you're kind of like, why wouldn't they just pick somebody else? You know what I mean? Like, if they weren't giving the Infantry the titles, why not pick a team that we haven't seen the Undisputed Kingdom beat like within the last month or so? You know what I mean?
Right. Why are they just keep fighting the same team until they get it? Because I feel like if a tag team is next in line for the tag titles to get them, it is Infantry. And it's like, so we're just going to have them just keep having matches over and over again?
Right. And like, that's the problem with Ring of Honor. Because then like sometimes they get too realistic where it's like the point where like, well, the Infantry should be the number one contenders again. It's like, okay, yeah, but we haven't really set up like anyone to like consistently be built up since. Yeah, it's like, yeah, but we haven't given them wins, so let's just do it. And it's so funny because last week they also had the Infantry say Top Flight's being all the opportunities we should be getting. Meanwhile, Top Flight has not faced Undisputed Kingdom for the tag team championship.
Right.
Infantry has. So now I'm almost like left I'm left wondering who's next, right? I spoke last week, and I think you'll agree with me in saying the MXM collection would be fantastic challengers.
Yes, I agree.
Like I didn't love that we didn't get any vignettes from them because we had been getting something from them every week. But I also don't know, and it seemed like with the vignettes we were getting prior to their debut at the pay-per-view that the commitment was going to be to putting them on Ring of Honor. And when they've got these tapings, you're kind of like, okay, even if they don't put them on in the ring for every show, they've got to give us a backstage segment. They've got to give us a vignette. They've got to give us something. They could do a fucking fashion show with these guys. You know what I mean? We saw it in the past.
Yeah. Shit, I wanted to say something else about the tag titles, and now I can't remember. Gosh. I can't. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the only thing that I ever really, really liked with ROH, with progression of not storytelling but storytelling, was the tournament for the women's TV championship. It made sense. I mean, I didn't quite agree with who they had in each round because I thought that was a little weird. But like, I like that
Right.
we looked forward to matches. Oh, this
Right.
match is cool, and then it led up to something where I feel like they don't do that anymore. Like, have a tournament for tag titles. Have a tournament, like have gauntlet matches.
That was one thing. That was one thing I did enjoy tonight, actually. Though, just when Rachel Ellering had her match against Brooke Havoc and won, the commentary did make a point of saying, "Hey, I know Red Velvet's got to be watching this because she might have a new challenger soon." So, and I think they need to make an effort to do that with every championship.
Right.
Like they need to make an effort. If for example, the Outrunners, they got their win tonight. Why not throw out that the Undisputed Kingdom, they might be looking at the screens. The Undisputed Kingdom might have a new team to worry about. Like, Larry, make everything matter. If hell, when Robbie Eagles gets a fucking win, you know what I mean? Like, say, hey, a few more under his belt, and the TV champion might have to watch, you know, like
or
just
like have them cut a promo in the ring. That's okay. Stuff like that's okay.
exactly.
Like,
but
Kyle Fletcher with the kind of open challenge. Remember, we were doing that whole thing where we were like, hey, like, who's he gonna face this week?
And as I said, I was happy with the main event we got for those wrestlers, and that match, it should have been the main event. However, with this tag team championship match that you did announce to us last week, if they wanted us to buy in and think the Infantry were going to win, which some people probably were thinking, because as I said, why would you, like, we've seen this match happen. Why are you giving it to us again? Maybe they're going to win. They should have given it the big match feel. Like without the big match feel of the main event, it did kind of feel like this rematch was wasted. And you would have been better off giving us a tag team championship match against another tag team. But regardless, we did see the Undisputed Kingdom retain and reclaim their throne as the top team in the company, a spot that they are destined for. This dog is crying. So, guys, we are Audi 5000. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. We're going to see you same time, same place. After Ring of Honor is Mark of Honor. You guys are the best, and we are just trying to be like you because we're not just smart.